Hi y'all, and welcome back to Supper at the Family Table. Today I'm sharing an easy $5 supper idea that is part of a open playlist collaboration with SeeMindyMom. So head on over and check her video out and all the other videos that are in this playlist. So I hope you'll get some ideas for some easy budget recipes that are still delicious and super easy to make. So let's jump into it. Alright, so this is everything I bought for the supper I'm going to be making, and I'm going to make red beans and rice. So let me go ahead and go through everything that I got. I shopped at Kroger. So I got these kidney beans here, and these were $1.49 for 1 pound. So beans and rice, if you're trying to shop on a budget, are always pretty cheap. So I got some of those. And then I also got some brown rice, which was 1 pound bag for 89 cents. And I got brown rice and white rice were the same price. You could get either one, but I was trying to keep it a little more nutritious, so I went with the brown rice. And then I also got 1 can of Italian style diced tomatoes. This is just the Kroger brand. These were 59 cents. And they have a little bit of flavor in them, like they have some garlic and they have some salt. So with that little bit of pre-seasoning, it'll add a little more flavor if you're trying to shop with minimal ingredients and a budget. Something that has a little bit of seasoning is nice. Now, I was trying to keep this mainly whole foods, but I did have to venture into something that I would not normally get, but it's going to stretch our meal out a bit, and this is the little party pizzas. These were $1 each at Kroger, and so I got a supreme and I got a triple meat, and then I'm going to scrape off the veggies and the meat for this and use it in the red beans and rice because I couldn't find any like meat or veggies that would fit my budget otherwise. And then we'll also turn this into a little bit of a garlic breadstick type of thing to serve with it. So I hope this is going to be yummy, and so let's go ahead and jump in. My total for all of these items here was $4.97, so I was right at my $5 budget. Alright, so to start off, I'm cooking my beans. So you can cook your beans however you want. You can do them in the Instant Pot, just on the stove, or on in the crock pot will work too. You could easily do that and do them overnight, and then have them ready for the next day. That's a really easy option. So my beans are almost ready, and then we'll add in our other ingredients to make this a really yummy red beans. Okay, so my beans are done cooking. Just cook those down until your soup is thicker, and then we're going to add in the 1 can of Italian style diced tomatoes. And I've already seasoned mine with salt and pepper, the beans, but I'm going to add a little more salt because after tasting they need it. So season with salt and pepper, stir that in, and then we'll add in the toppings from our pizza. Alright, so I'm just getting the veggies and the sausage and ham off these pieces, so we're going to add that into the red beans and rice to add that flavor and a little bit of meat that is traditional in red beans and rice, but that I couldn't get in my budget any other way. So I just kind of had to get creative, and this is what I came up with. So I know this may not be the traditional red beans and rice that most people are used to eating, but it's still a tasty meal that my whole family loved and is very budget friendly, and this meal will easily feed 5 people. Okay, so there is the sausage, ham, and veggies that I got off my 2 pizzas. It gave a pretty decent amount, and so we're going to add that in there. That's going to add some protein, some veggies, and some flavor to our red beans and rice. So now we're just going to let this cook for a little bit until everything is nice and hot. Alright, so to give this a little bit more flavor, I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of chili powder here. So we're just going to add that in. Pretty basic seasoning that most people already have, so just going to keep it really simple and just use chili powder to give this a little bit more flavor. Alright, so now I'm going to make a little bit of like a garlic breadstick out of the rest of the pizza. So it still has some cheese left on it. I tried not to get all the cheese off when I was just picking off the meat and veggies. So there's still cheese on it, there's sauce is still on there, and I'm gonna cut it up into smaller pieces. Into nice serving size pieces. And then I'm gonna put this on a baking sheet, and I'm just gonna bake it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder here in a minute, and that'll just season them up a little bit, give them even a little bit more flavor, and make them garlicky breadsticks. So, just gonna put those on a sheet pan, lined with parchment paper. There we go. And I'm going to do my next pizza. So this is going to give us plenty of breadsticks to eat. That should be really filling along with our beans. So I think this is going to be a really hearty and filling meal. I should have got a bigger sheet pan, but that's okay. So let me grab the garlic powder. Okay, so now I'm just going to use a little bit of garlic powder. This is another like really staple spice that I feel like most people probably have in their pantry. So I'm just going to dust that on there, just sprinkle that over, and that's going to make those taste so yummy. And then I'm going to put these in the oven, and I'm going to get them nice and melty and crispy. I'm going to bake them at about 400. Alright, so this is what the red beans and rice looks like. I've cooked it for about 15 to 20 minutes after my beans were cooked and after I've added all my other stuff in here. And you just want to do that just to let the flavors get nice and... Alright, so this is what the red beans and rice looks like when it's all done. Just cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes after you add all your other stuff in there, just to let the flavors develop more. And I think it's going to be good, so I can't wait to try it. And our pizza is in the oven, our pizza bread is in the oven, and we're almost ready to eat. So there is my cheesy garlic breadsticks. They are looking so yummy. The cheese got nice and brown, so I think those are going to be a yummy side for our meal. Now here's my rice. You're just going to need to cook your rice however you want. You can do it in an Instant Pot on the stove, whatever your preferred method is. This is not the kind of rice that I usually cook, but you have to, make some changes to fit your budget. So that's what I did today. So it's not quite as fluffy as normal, but it's still going to be yummy, and it'll be fine. So just kind of adjust to what you need to do, and it'll still work out. Just get creative. So there's our rice that we are going to serve our yummy red beans over. So let's go ahead and serve that up. Alright, so I'm going to serve this up. So I'm going to get my rice first. I'm going to put that in the bottom of my bowl. Okay. And then I'm going to serve my red beans over the top of that. And it's going to be so I'm just topping my rice with my beans here. And then I'm going to serve that with a breadstick on the side. And I think that looks like a filling meal, so we're going to eat it. And I'll come back and let you know what we think. Alright, y'all, so we ate the meal. Everybody loved this supper. It was so good. Everybody thought it was, really yummy, and it was a great budget option. So I hope that you liked it, and I hope you got some ideas from it. Again, check out the whole playlist. Check out SeeMindyMom's video. I'll link it below, as well as all the rest of the videos in the playlist to get even more budget-friendly meal ideas. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a blessed night.